For those not acquainted with Redwood Pharma, what is it that you do?
Redwood Pharma develops medicines for the treatment of eye diseases where there are large unmet medical needs. And we have two primary assets in the company. The first is a treatment for chronic dry eye disease in postmenopausal women, which we call RP101. And the other is a drug delivery system called IntelliGel, which helps deliver active substances to the front of the eye.
And you're calling your lead project RP101 a unique therapy. Could you explain why this is so?
Well, dry eye disease is a large area. There are many different causes of it, and there's not one ideal medicine to treat it. Today, there's a large unmet medical need for it. And what we have is a product, RP101, that has prior data that support efficacy and safety in earlier clinical trials in the US, which support this development. This data is very valuable to the company. And it is also focused then on a unique underlying biological mechanism, as well as a target patient population of postmenopausal women. Today, there are no therapies under development or on the market that have those two characteristics.
And looking towards the IntelliGel platform, how do you see the development going forward there?
This is a very interesting area. Drug delivery platforms are in vogue. They are looked at by Big Pharma as ways of improving the behavior of drugs that are either on the market or novel ways of delivering new medicines to the eye. IntelliGel is a way of controlling the release of active substances on the front of the eye to perhaps reduce the number of doses per day, reduce possible side effects of medicines. So this is an extremely interesting technology, as there are no other technologies on the market today that achieve the same performance through this mechanism as it is a thermogel.
And could you give us a brief summary on what has happened in the past year since we last met?
Well, there's a lot that's happened and we're quite proud of in the company. First of all, we have achieved two important patents, one in the US and one in Japan. So that strengthens the underlying intellectual property of the IntelliGel platform, as well as our lead dry eye technology. The other activity that's been ongoing this year has been our toxicity studies. We started that in March of this year, and we recently published the successful conclusion of these toxicology results in Q3 this year. Thirdly, we have signed on some very critical partners in terms of production for our clinical material for the trial that will start next year, as well as a contract research organization, Cross Alliance, that will be managing our clinical trial. These two partners are vital to the success of our project, as they are experts in production as well as in overseeing managing clinical trials that generate valuable data that can be used in deals in the future for us. And lastly, as we recently just went out in a press release, we have actually started production of our RP101 material for clinical trials. Those are the most important activities that have really gone on this past year.
And what has been your biggest accomplishment up till now?
Well, I have to say there are two. First is that we successfully completed our toxicology studies. Toxicology is a standard phase of development in drug development, where you try to demonstrate safety and also confirm the therapeutic window of a material. We have completed successfully toxicology and safety studies for RP101. This unlocks critical value in the company, and we're seeing that in the marketplace right now. If you look at just at what the stock price is, what the stock market is interpreting, they understand that by completing toxicology and demonstrating that RP101 and the IntelliGel platform are safe, it means that we can continue in the successful development of these two assets. And the other activity I would say that is of most important is the start of production of RP101. This proves that we have successfully scaled up the commercial process for RP101. It represents hundreds of hours of work and invested capital to come to this point where we have a commercial process.
And earlier this autumn you announced a minor delay in development. Could you tell us more about this?
Well, as I said earlier, toxicology is a critical phase in pharmaceutical development where you try to demonstrate safety and the therapeutic window of a drug. And we felt after our animal testing that we needed to strengthen our case by doing some additional laboratory testing, and we were able to confirm with the results that we have a very good solid toxicology package. So even though it resulted in a minor delay of several weeks, we don't foresee that it'll impact the start of our phase 2 clinical trial in the beginning of 2018.
And your business model is to partner with large pharmaceutical companies. Could you tell us about your efforts in finding a good partner?
I'd be very happy to. We were very interested in getting results from our toxicology results before we actively and accelerated our business development activities. With the successful conclusion of the toxicology results, we are now able to very much accelerate these activities. And what we see today is that there's a lot of interest for the RP101 dry eye technology as well as the IntelliGel platform. And our intention is now to take the development of RP101 through completion of phase 2 and then seek a partner who can take over phase 3 development, commercialization, production, and the sales of the product. And I think we see through our discussions today with other regional, global, and national actors that there is quite a lot of interest.
And you mentioned the start of the clinical trial in Europe in 2018. What can you tell me about that?
Well, this will represent probably the most significant milestone in our development of RP101 and even the company. What we will be doing is testing RP101 in postmenopausal women in Europe, 100 women in various clinics. The results of these data will serve as a cornerstone to a deal that we look to do with a larger pharmaceutical company that'll take over the project. Either it'll be a licensing deal or some other deal of some sort.
Okay, and let's wrap up by looking forward. What are your plans in the near future?
Well, our plans are many, and there are 4 central points. The first is we're going to start the clinical trial for RP101. The other aspect that our activity that we're going to be focusing on is the selection that we're going to find a new product to develop within the company in combination with the IntelliGel platform. And the third is to increase business development activities to find a good, a very suitable and a very capable pharmaceutical partner. And fourth, we're going to increase our communication activities to reach out to small investors, primarily in Scandinavia, where we can broaden our investor base. And it's through these types of communications that are vital to building confidence with our owners.
Okay, thank you, Martin, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.